With today's business world constantly evolving, it is becoming increasingly important for companies to find an edge over competition. Specifically, companies need to keep up to speed with technology and the advantages that this brings. One way that companies such as X6 can increase their overall productivity while lowering their total costs is by instituting alternative working arrangements. To sum this up, employees are being allowed to work in situations other than the corporate setting. A variety of options are available, like telecommuting, shared workspaces, and video collaboration. Specifically, telecommuting offers many advantages that are applicable to X6. Telecommuting allows companies to run an effective business while saving large amounts of money on office space and other costs associated with office maintenance. By allowing employees to work from home, morale will also be boosted and comfort will increase. This has been shown by the company JetBlue. JetBlue has their call center portion of their business completely done by employees working from their homes in Salt Lake City, Utah. What this means is every single call that comes in dealing with flight bookings, changing, and scheduling is handled by someone off-site. The initiative is a resounding success with the employees, and it allowed them to post a $3.286 billion revenue for 2009. KGB, an answer by text information service, also utilizes telecommuting in their business practices. They outsource their answer gathering service to people all over the country who simply submit the answer that they find to a central KGB server. In this way, KGB is able to cut their power expenditures as well as data network costs. X6 could utilize a similar structure in areas of their business that deal with call receiving. By taking the department that deals with claims receiving as well as sending out calls to the customers and allowing it to be performed via telecommuting, X6 could realize gain from the increased morale and productivity that alternative work arrangements can bring. This shift in the way business is done does have some effects on other systems related to the company. The way in which talent or new hires are acquired will also have to change. With the freedom gained from different work arrangements, the talent pool does not necessarily have to only extend to a certain geographical area. This, in turn, allows companies to pull possibly more qualified personnel from areas that generally would not have been considered previously due to geographic distance from the company's site. The freedom gained from this move in the way of the hiring practices could be a gigantic draw for people looking to work at X6, but who were previously out of the running for being hired due to their location. With the change in the way people work and seek out work, the way the company transfers knowledge would also have to change. Be it either employee-to-employee communication or a business-wide level, communication and specifically knowledge transfer is important. The distance afforded by telecommuting is the main problem as well. It makes it increasingly difficult to transfer data back and forth. New methods of communication, such as fiber lines and other mediums of communication, as well as different business practices, would need to be explored in order to maintain an effective communication sphere. The social impact of minimal face-to-face communication will also have to be taken into consideration. A lot of information that is transferred has a distinctly human aspect, and taking away this without further research would probably cause some issues. One of the other things that X6 would consider in order to possibly gain an edge over the competition would be that of changing the talent acquisition system that they use, as all three of these systems we will discuss are interrelated. Talent acquisition, basically, is the means by which a company hires its employees. This can be as simple as collecting applications or conducting face-to-face interviews, or it can be much more technology-minded and in-depth. Well, the reasons that X6 should probably consider changing their talent acquisition are good talent acquisition provides an easy and abundant resource for knowledge and productivity. This could also, for example, help with the transfer of knowledge. Finding the right person for the job can often mean the difference between success or failure of a position. Another good point to consider is bad hiring costs money. If you get the hiring process right the first time, you're less likely to spend more money on trying to find someone who can make up for the mistakes made by the predecessor. This helps the company grow and grow within itself and fosters a better work environment. Currently, X6 conducts most of its talent acquisition through applications and resumes, as well as searching their own database or sites like Monster.com, looking for new hires. This, while possibly effective, is inefficient and it results in a very limited pool of candidates to choose from. Linking back to the alternative work arrangements, by expanding the sphere of working, I should say, by doing telecommuting, this would allow them to gain much more significant results from a website such as Monster. This practice has been utilized by other companies like Time Warner Cable, AT&T, and American Express in many different ways. The aforementioned three use Twitter and Facebook to recruit some of their talent. A lot of them even have their own Facebook page dedicated specifically to talent acquisition. Blogs or video interviews are another ways that emerging companies are using to find new talent. Like we've said before, the transfer of knowledge is integral in this talent acquisition process, if you will, because the faster you can transfer information, the quicker you might find out about a new hire or possibly even a new way to do the hiring process. This, in turn, will foster a better corporate atmosphere because the more employees are empowered and know about their company, the better they feel about it, and the more likely new employees are going to want to work for the company. Again, alternative work arrangements open up this sphere of hiring geographically and allow possibly the best fit for a position to be found, even if it's outside of the original sphere of influence of the company. The transfer of knowledge system, breaking away now, involves the way that information is passed from both people and departments to each other within a company. Each department and person within these departments needs to know about the company as a whole to better understand their role. Empowering people with knowledge is one of the key factors in a successful company. If you have happy employees, it's safe to say that the happy employees are going to work better. If knowledge transfer is utilized efficiently, again, this will help them be more productive, and they'll be able to pass this information on to either new hires or other people in their department or division. This is why transfer of knowledge is critical in a business setting. Now, some companies utilize a different way of transfer of knowledge already in company and department meetings, mentorship, and various other technologies like web conferencing or company intranets. In regards to X6, they are focused on transferring knowledge from current developers with COBOL knowledge used in the legacy systems and older itinerations of travelers to recent hires with less knowledge of COBOL and its lower level stuff. In this case, mentorship would be exceptionally effective in order to pass the systems of knowledge from these existing employees who will soon be retiring to the new hires. This will help the new hires be better familiarized with the current systems, while the employees who are getting ready to retire are still there to help them for a while. The other system that could be affected by the transfer of knowledge will be alternative work arrangements. In this case, knowledge and information will need to be passed not only within the company walls, but to others who will be working at home, for example. Since these people will not regularly be around coworkers that they would normally work with, there needs to be a new way to get information to these people. Overall, it would be very prudent for a company such as X6 to consider some of these changes, as well as others, to more effectively compete in today's growing business world. Only by changing can a company stay on top of the game and subsequently